when you're showing appreciation and you're expressing gratitude for the things that are working, that's going to put you into a better feeling state, which is then going to put you in alignment with the things that you're trying to attract. So that better job opportunity is going to come to you because you are an energetic match for that better job opportunity. Welcome to the Psychology of Manifestation podcast with your host, Sudani Firestar. I am so happy you are here. So today's episode is about being exactly where you're meant to be, even if it sucks, okay? Because you have to make peace with where you are to get to where you desire to go. You have to make peace with it. But before we get into the juiciest parts of the episode, today's episode is sponsored by my brand new free masterclass, Next Level Now Visionary. This is for you as the high achieving woman who has done everything right on paper, but feels like there's still something missing. And you've secretly had this burning desire to pursue a dream that others might see as unrealistic or just impossible for you for whatever reason. And so it's just this dream that's been on your mind, in your heart, but kind of like in this dusty old box in the closet, waiting to be expressed, waiting to be realized. And you know that if you were to fulfill that dream, that missing piece would finally be added to your puzzle, your life puzzle, and would be so incredibly rewarding. Okay, and so this masterclass is for you if you're ready for it to be new year, new you, rather than new year, same you. Because at the end of the year, you want to be having lived an extraordinary life because you are a visionary. You know that anything is possible for you. And through this masterclass, you are going to embody that. That is what you are going to believe about yourself because you deserve to have it all. You deserve to be, do, or have whatever your heart desires. To access the masterclass, you can check the show notes. The link is in the show notes, okay? Also, sign up for it because there's going to be a special offer that's going to be available for a short time only. And so you're going to want to be able to see what that is, all right? Because I have something exciting coming for you starting January 1st. All right. I'm so excited for the new year. Can't you tell? 2026 is going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. I am declaring that now. Okay. So, all right, let's get into it. So, as I said earlier, you are right where you're supposed to be. Even if it sucks, that's where you're meant to be. Because the problem with not being happy with where you are or trying to escape it is that you oftentimes will get into a new situation and feeling like relief, like, I can finally relax. I finally gotten away from that thing, that experience that I didn't like. I'm finally free of it. And then because you left in a hasty way or a panicked way and you get into a new situation, like you were not really looking for the red flags, right? The things that you wanted to avoid because anything looked better than where you were. And so you wind up in the next situation. And at first, it seems like sparkly and brand new and like everything's great. But then you start to realize that there are some patterns. There are some aspects of this new situation that are exactly the same as the old situation. And they're none of the things that you wanted. And now you feel like you have to flee again. You have to escape again. Like, this is all wrong for me. I'm not meant to be in this. I'm suffering in this. And so you have to take the time to really reflect on where you are now and to look for the silver lining. And I can give you plenty of examples of this. I'll give you a work example, which you've heard many times before from me. And then you will also hear from me about a relationship example because there's a celebrity that we all know who has been through so much with her relationships. And, she was saying recently that she finally had learned this lesson after going through the same experience over and over and over again. All right. So, in terms of like the work example, if I'm talking to you about being in a situation, feeling like you need to escape, for many years, I went through this cycle. And sometimes they were years apart. So I didn't always notice the pattern right away. But I started to notice that I was always attracting bosses that were really hostile and aggressive with me, like just verbally aggressive and belittling. And I was just thinking to myself, I kind of was in victimhood. I was in victim mode. Like, why me? I don't understand why this keeps happening to me. I feel like I treat people the way that I want to be treated. Like, why is this happening to me? And the thing is that I was not an energetic match for something different. I was an energetic match for people to treat me that way, for me to attract supervisors who were attracted to people who kind of felt less than, because that's how I felt back then. But in addition to that, I also would be like in escape mode, just waiting for these negative situations to pass, to get out of them, to find something that would be better so that I could move on. But I never really settled anything. Like I never really addressed the issues, the underlying issues, or got to a calm, relaxed state where I could be a more creative thinker, a more objective thinker, and really see all of the different opportunities that were available to me. So I basically was kind of like settling for whatever there was that was just different from this situation that was no longer working for me. And so what happened was that I created this pattern of running away from situations that were negative, that were not serving me or working for me, and winding up in situations that had much of the same negativity and features that I just got away from. I'm like, didn't I just escape this? How did I end up here again? And I kept ending up there again because I was so focused on the things that weren't working, so focused on the things that I wanted to get away from, the things that weren't, that were just kind of unbearable. But when the straw finally broke the camel's back, when I finally was like, enough is enough, like I am going to change, I started to get different results. And so, of course, I've spoken a lot about how I got those different results. But part of that was starting to focus on the silver lining, the things that were working, the things that I did like, that I did want to keep and carry forward, along with also focusing on the benefits of some of those negative things and the ways that they had changed me or helped me to grow and to become a better version of me. Because people oftentimes say we grow through what we go through. And I felt like I had finally grown through what I went through and came out the other end like a different version of myself. So let's think of the examples, right? So when I finally started to look at the things that were working and to appreciate them and express gratitude for them, I started to feel better about my circumstances. And I started to figure out, okay, like, what is my ideal? What is it that I'm looking for that would be so much better than this? But what are the things that I appreciate here now? Because when you're showing appreciation, you're expressing gratitude for the things that are working, that's going to put you into a better feeling state. You're going to feel so much better, which is then going to put you in alignment with the things that you're trying to attract. That's going to put you into alignment with the things that you want to call into your life. So that better job opportunity is going to come to you because you are an energetic match for that better job opportunity. So that's what happened with me, where things started to shift, things started to align so that I matched up because it started by me changing myself and how I was going through life and changing my own energy. I started to align with what I really wanted, and I finally got what I really wanted. And then, in terms of me growing through what I went through, I started to realize that even though I had gone through some really hard experiences, that they really did change me at my core, the way that I saw myself, and turn me into a person who had better coping skills, a woman who was more confident in me, more trusting in myself. I began to have more self-belief and to know that I could get through anything and that I was valuable and I'm worthy and that I am enough. And so I had a significant increase in my self-worth. And these negative experiences started to strengthen me because I always got through them. I always survived. And then I began to thrive. So the skills that I learned after going through these struggles really shaped me into a resilient person, a strong person, where I oftentimes tell myself that I believe that these experiences I went through, especially in the field of school psychology, have turned me into more of a leader. Like I used to hear all the time when I was a child that I had leadership potential, but I don't think in many ways I had ever really stepped into that leadership potential until the last few years, where I am more confident in my work. I am more confident in who I am. So I am better positioned to lead. But there was a long time where I just didn't feel good about myself. So how was I going to lead? How was I going to lead anyone when I didn't feel like I was enough? Okay. But I definitely feel like going through these struggles, these challenges made me a stronger version of me who can go through so much and still thrive. Because before it'd be like, you get knocked down, it's like failure, right? And feeling bad and ashamed and guilty, all these things, all these negative emotions. But I'm done with that. I've been done with that because I want to go to my next level. And I know that's go to my next level. What it takes to be an entrepreneur, entrepreneurs don't buy into this idea of failure. Their success is inevitable. My success is inevitable. And that all begins with me realizing that a failure is just an opportunity for learning something new and just applying that knowledge to do better next time and get even closer to achieving that end goal, even closer to being the winner. Like in the end, you always win. In the end, I always win. So those are the silver linings that you can look for in situations that feel pretty negative or dismal right now. And then other way to look at a negative situation, actually, I'm skipping the relationship part. Okay. So I mentioned that there is this celebrity, this woman who has gone through this pattern of negative relationships or failed relationships, even though, like I said, nothing is a failure. Like you can always take something, you can take the good and then learn from the bad. So that woman is J-Lo, who's been through numerous divorces at this time, right? I guess I don't have to use the word numerous. And she's not like Elizabeth Taylor, but she has been through a number of divorces. And the only reason why I'm using her as an example is because she even said this about herself in the press. When people were asking her about whether she regretted marrying Ben Affleck and going through another divorce. And she said that she didn't regret it because she was like, thank God. Like, God had to, I guess, have me go through the same lesson over and over again, but I finally got it. And she was like, I'm sorry, God, I'm sorry it took me so long to figure it out, but I've got it. So she didn't regret the experiences that she had. She felt like those were opportunities for her to learn a lesson and for her to grow and for her to now realize to not like repeat the same thing over and over again. Because, like I said, for example, this is very similar to my work situation. Is this deja vu, right? Like, didn't I do this already? Haven't I been here before? Haven't I gone through this already? Like, again? Yes, again, until you start to break that pattern. It starts with appreciating what you learned, what you experienced, focusing on the good, taking that with you and learning from the things that were not working and, creating the alternative version of that. Like what would be ideal for you? What would be better than that? And then becoming an energetic match for that by being at peace with where you are right now. And then the other way that you can look for the silver lining is to think about this challenging experience, the challenging time that you're going through right now in whatever area of your life that it's in, and to see how you can use that experience for good. You develop some strengths from that experience. There are certain transferable skills that you've gained that will transfer to other incredible opportunities that you want to call into your life. Or it can be that you are going to take what you learned and help someone else, right? You can use what you've learned in this challenging experience, teach someone else how to overcome what you overcame, using all the skills and tools and knowledge that you gained while going through that tough time. Because there's going to be someone else who's going through something similar, who's going to need exactly what it is that you have to offer, whatever it is you want to teach them or share with them. So you can change someone else's life. You can change your life. So you're going to gain something from this experience. So look at the silver lining. Think about what you have to gain, even if it seems like crap right now. Let's just call it what it is, crap, right? But there's always a silver lining. There's always a way in which you can use that tough experience for good in the world. So that's what I have for you today, my dear. And what can you do with that? It's basically just, if you're going through a tough time, it's looking for the silver lining. It's determining what are the good things in this experience. What are the things that I can appreciate about this experience and take with me going forward into my ideal version of whatever this is, my ideal relationship, my ideal job, my ideal version of like wellness and health. What do I want to carry with me? What are the positive things that I can express gratitude for and actually say thank you for those things? And also another piece that I want you to think about too is that sometimes this requires you to forgive, because we can oftentimes think that when we're forgiving someone else that we're giving something to them, that we're forgiving them for them. But oftentimes when you forgive someone, it's you forgiving them for you, because forgiving them is going to allow you to let go of that really tough experience that you're carrying around with you, that's burdening you, that's weighing you down, that could be affecting your mental and physical health on a regular basis. You're shedding that, you're letting go of that so that you can be a healthier version of you. So sometimes this process involves, um, forgiving people. You got to forgive, because then that is going to free you. That is going to release you and help you to be an energetic match for your desires, to help you to lead a healthier life. So you might also in this process want to think about the people who you might need to or want to forgive so that you can heal yourself. Right? So look for the silver lining, express gratitude, forgive. And then those last pieces are thinking about how this experience has strengthened you, how you have grown from it, some of the transferable skills that you will take into any other next level of your life that you're going to, that visionary version of yourself. And then also how you can use this tough experience to support others and to change other people's lives for the better. So that's what I have for you today, my dear. And if you're not following the podcast yet, follow the podcast, subscribe. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can follow the podcast on Spotify, and you can subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget to like this video, like the video on YouTube, and you can share the video, right? You can share this video, you can share this podcast with loved ones, for anyone who needs to hear this right now, because I can guarantee you, especially during this time of year, it's the holiday season, that there is someone who needs to hear this. All right. And then until next time, love you. Bye.